Hello friends, and welcome back to Figure Study, where we are getting cute, looking at a couple of QT transformers. I think. This one might be from a slightly different line, I don't know the history behind it all, but yes, I got myself a couple of QT figures last year. It's just been a while since I've gotten to them, and for what they are, I love these things. They're just adorable. They're really simple, but they're so cute. In part due to their obviously kind of super deformed proportions. Like, I should probably mention we've got Drift and Ultra Magnus. Drift is this little squished in penny racer looking car, and Ultra Magnus is like this little chibi truck, and it's super cute. Not just because they've got cute proportions, but also because they're just so tiny. They're being dwarfed by a Siege Deluxe. Dwarfed. This is like Tobot proportions, comparatively. Most things look impossibly huge next to them, even the duck tank. So, taking a look at these in slightly closer detail, let's start with Ultra Magnus. You can see there's actually quite a bit of molded detail in there, including a tiny little Autobot logo, but also a tiny little one textured into the side of the trailer there. I mean, they're simple, and I feel like it would have been nice if they painted these side windows like they did the front, but they're tiny. They're tiny and inexpensive. And as you'd expect, the transformation is pretty simple. But there is some detail in there, like he's got the red bumper, the headlights and grille and windows, as I mentioned, are painted. These little gas can step-up bits are also painted, and even the little missile launchers, I guess, as well as these little stripes up here. And I don't know how, I think these are meant to evoke the, arms of the larger robot mode. I feel like there isn't supposed to be a little bar going across them like that, but it's fine. And it does break up the blue. This bit could do with more color. Like, this one's okay because it's got the fender and the headlights and all that, but this could definitely use more color, so that white on the top definitely helps. And as for the transformation, I'll just walk through it because it's really simple. Let's just separate these and swing them out, and then rotate them down because you can actually see little fists in there. As I said, very simple. And then bring this part up, and as you bring that up, it'll actually push down against this bit here, which will bring up the head. And then for the legs, you just pull this down. And that is it. It's super simple, but effective. Now, let's move on to Drift. And Drift, I think, fares a little bit better in terms of paint distribution than Ultra Magnus, but I think, as I said, he's from a slightly different line. Got the copper for the rims there. Painted the headlights, fog lights possibly, even the bumper. And these, as I said, these are tiny, so I appreciate that detail. The hood, the windows are painted all the way around, the tail lights are painted, though not back here, and the exhaust could use some paint, but, small nitpicks. The thing that kind of disappoints me with Drift is his Autobot logo on his chest is such a dark shade of red that it really kind of bleeds into the hood, the gray of the hood there. I feel like that really needed to be either a lighter gray or a lighter red, just to make it pop more, or maybe do that white outline for the Autobot logo. That seems like a slight flub on their part. But, as I said, small, simple, I'm willing to look past it. And it is a very cute little car. I really do like how cute this is. As for the transformation, it's very similar to Ultra Magnus. Split the back and bring these around, and these will actually kind of soft lock, kind of, I guess the MGO term is thoop, into place. And swing down the arms, so the arms actually aren't just molded in on the inside there. Pull down the legs, much like Ultra Magnus, except they don't make up the front of the car. And then the hood here pops back, and there's this mechanism where you can see as you bring it back, it lifts up the head. That's so that it has room to kind of go down. So when you lift it up and push this back, it'll eventually kind of soft lock into place and keep that head from moving. And you just kind of bring it back against the back of the head, and there we have Drift in robot mode. And I like to kind of angle the arms a little bit more, just to give a little bit more to his silhouette. And yeah, these are adorable. I love them so much. The issue that I have with the QT stuff is just based on what I've seen, because I only own these two, but my main issue is the fact that all the cars are exactly the same. There might be some molding differences here and there, the coloring obviously, the heads obviously, but like a QT RC is basically this, only pink and white, with like some minor molding differences and a different head. There's no change to the transformation whatsoever. And I know they're cute, they're simple, they're tiny, and I'm not necessarily expecting a ton of new stuff with each one, but like that's something that's kind of making me not interested in collecting the whole line. I feel like just having one of each type, whether it's a, truck, car, and plane, is enough, because I'm not a huge fan of owning the exact same mold over and over again. Sometimes I'll make exceptions, but for the most part, So probably won't be getting many other QT or Koro Q or whatever they're called Transformers in the future. Maybe one or two, but I'm happy with these two. And since we looked at Magnus first, let's look at Drift first. It's pretty much the entire front of the car for his chest, which is just, it's cute. It's so cute. There's some new detail, though. Like, a little bit of detail in his little feet. Not a whole lot going on there. And what's interesting here is he's got flat feet, but Magnus actually has, like, little angles to his, so I don't know why they didn't do something similar to give him more of an A stance, but, he's tiny. They can get away with it. There is actually some detail in the fists as well. I don't know why there's like a little slot there, because it doesn't peg into anything. And a little bit of detail revealed there. Primarily, it's just car bits with legs sticking out of the bottom and then the head. Though there is actually some mechanical molding on the inside of the car, the hood, the cab, whatever. And then as for the head, that's, from what I understand it, to be a cute version of Drift. It's, well molded, well designed, evocative of the character, and the painting is actually pretty nice. Like that dark gray that mirrors the hood on the sides there, silver for the face, that nice metallic blue for the eyes, and then that little bit of gold for the crest there. It really stands out. Like when this guy is standing there, he definitely reads as a tiny but adorable robot. Or I should say tiny, adorable, but still cool robot. Of the two, Drift is definitely my favorite. And the predominantly white color scheme, I feel like there could be a little bit more color kind of broken up in the arms and the legs there, but I'm willing to make a lot of concessions for how tiny this guy is. And getting him out of the way and bringing in Ultra Magnus. He's definitely got more color breakup because he's got that giant white chest and then he's surrounded by blue and red. The feet are not typical Magnus feet. They're just, the front of the truck cab. You can actually kind of see the more typical Magnus feet and shins on the underside of his arms there because of the transformation. I feel like there's not much they could have done given the size and simplicity of this guy, so I'm not too worried about it. His chest does stick out very far, though. Like, you can see there's his head, and, I feel like there must have been some way to design this so that this kind of didn't stick out quite as far. But, again, they're cute, super deformed, it's part of the charm. What's funny about this is, realistically speaking, Drift can still pull off Drift, because Drift is a car former, and yeah, he definitely does some things differently, but his overall shape isn't that different from what I'm already used to. His distribution of car parts is different, but he's still got the big shoulders. Ultra Magnus has, this white chest instead of the blue and red chest. He's got the shoulder pods, which are definitely Ultra Magnus-y, but they're not pointed forward, they're pointed up. And as I said, the feet are different, so less evocative of the character, but it still reads as Ultra Magnus, especially that head. That head is super duper Ultra Magnus. They even painted his little antennas. And he's got that nice silver face, little sky blue eyes, which I think are a different shade than what's there for the windshield, I think. And yeah, he's cool too in his own right. It's really the only thing that bums me about him. Like, I'm totally fine with the chest sticking out too far. I'm totally fine with all of the different things that don't really scream Ultra Magnus. The only thing that bums me out are the arms, because his arms are just one single panel that's part of the trailer. I feel like it would have been cool if these could hinge down to give him more of like a proper arm, kind of like how Drift's arms actually have a little bit of motion to them. I mean, it's not a necessity, it's just it would have been nice to have a little bit more to the arms. But overall, not a huge deal. As I keep saying, these things are tiny and adorable, so they don't really need to be that complex. I'm willing to overlook a lot of stuff. And as a reminder, they are they are quite tiny and adorable, being dwarfed yet again by a Siege Deluxe, and yet again, this is somewhat evocative of, say, Tobot proportions. If you imagine this was the Tobot and this is the regular Deluxe size. They're just so cute. And yes, Duck Tank. And I do believe that is going to do it for QT Drift, and I think KoroQ Ultra Magnus. It's been a while since I got these guys, so I don't remember their exact designation, but I do really like them. They are cute, they are simple, but in a good way, and there's just a lot that speaks to me about these two. They're fun. They're cute, small, inexpensive, simple, and fun. But that's enough about what I think. What do you all think of these two? Or KoroQ, or QT lines in general? I'm probably wrong when I say KoroQ, but as I said, it's been a while since I bought these things. Have any of you out there been eyeballing these? And are there any in particular that stand out to you? Do any of you out there have any figures like this on your own that you prefer? Or if any of you out there collect these, which ones are your favorites? So I was tempted to get RC. The main reason I got Drift over RC is because RC was out of stock when I placed the order. And I keep thinking it might be good to get a Jetfire, so that I have the Jet mold for this as well. But anyway, whatever your thoughts, feel free to comment down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. And while you're at it, also feel free to like, subscribe, or, if you're feeling so inclined, you can also buy me a coffee, but no pressure. Any of those things would make me a happy Rob. And remember, this cute little tiny adorable art is more than meets the eye.